Yes, we are live. Hey, Michael here from Beer Baseball Blog, The Adventures of Craft Beer and Baseball. This is the Beer Baseball Hoppy Hour, episode 7 for January 23rd, 2021. This is a roundtable baseball discussion. All we ask is that you bring something to drink, an opinion, and some knowledge about baseball. Before we get started, wherever you are watching us live today, please give us a like and a comment. Let us know that you're out there. And as always, we'd appreciate if you subscribe and turn on those notifications. Let's meet the panel for today. First, he is the field correspondent and senior researcher at the Beer Baseball Blog, Kevin Lyon. Welcome.
Hey, great to be here on a rainy Saturday afternoon in January. It's finally winter.
Yeah, that's very rare here for California. So we're lucky to get any rain here. So yeah, you had to drive in it today too.
Yes, to deliver beer for you, sir. Yep, but it's well worth it.
Yeah, awesome. And our guest today is a top tier supporter of the Beer Baseball Blog on Patreon. He is fighting out of Tucson, Arizona. He is Cowboy Jack Durango. Welcome, Cowboy.
Cowboy Jack Durango, it's an honor to be here, boys. It's an honor to be here. Well, this is better. This is better than main event and Mania.
This is your WrestleMania moment right here.
This is my WrestleMania moment. Cowboy Jack's honored. Cowboy Jack's honored.
Beer Baseball Mania, brother.
I love it. I love it. And thank you so much for being here. We actually did a video last night that actually we put up this morning for the UFC. We opened up some UFC cards that went really great. So check that out in our playlist. Yeah, we got about we could have gone all night with it. It was a lot of fun, but we'll have to definitely do that again. We might do that with some WWE cards, maybe some more UFC. A lot of fun. Now, we all know each other from our time in professional wrestling, but do you still wrestle at all?
No, sir. No, sir. 2 years ago was the last time I did it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to go back and do it one time so my kids could see it, but I'm too old and fat to be doing that now. I only fight Proud Boys now.
Well, yeah, I mean, living in Arizona, I'm sure you don't have to throw too many stones and hit anybody.
You go get gas. You go and get gas, and I got to fight Proud Boys. It's okay. Cowboy Jack Durango fights a good fight, boys.
Well, I also noticed that you also do merchandising as well. I noticed that shirt that you have there doesn't look like it's official Beer Baseball Blog merchandise, but
I'm a huge fan. We need.
My attorney's sending a letter to you.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I've got my own attorney. Expect one back. No, I think we need some Beer Baseball clothes and a hat. So I had this made up so that I could just do a mock up, and I love it. I'm going to have some more made. I'll wear this to work every day.
I love it.
In other words, he wants royalties, Michael.
No.
It's all about that. Come on.
No, the only royalties I need are from Blue Chew.
Oh, there you go.
So one of these days, I'll get my promo code for Blue Chew, and I can retire.
I really hope one day I could say, go to bluechew.com/cowboyjack. I hope I can say that one day. It's a real
let's give it 3 months. I think we can make it happen in 3 months.
All right. I love it. And I'm also I have my creative mind at work here. You can be a Beer Baseball Blog athletic supporter. Everybody wants to be an athletic supporter.
Maybe, for you two gentlemen, I absolutely want to be an athletic supporter.
Very good.
And I wanted to give a quick shout out to a Bubble Pug. Wow.
Awesome. Bubble Pug!
Yeah. Love it. Ed is in the chat. It's better than Battle Network stars. He also said, I'm glad the podcast wasn't rained out. That's a high level joke right there. That's awesome. That's what Ed brings. And Jack already hitting the tape measure home runs. Do you know what that means, Jack? Tape measure home run.
A tape measure home run.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm going to try to guess.
Okay.
A tape measure home run would probably, just in my limited knowledge, you'd have to. Is it like the long ball? Is it measuring the tape to see how long it went?
Well, it's so long, you have to get out the tape measure to actually see how far it went. So it's
right. Okay.
Yeah,
I have that problem in my personal life too. So.
Oh, there you go.
I get it.
Yes, I already have the dad jokes going on here. Yeah, for sure. And hashtag Blue Chew. Yeah, definitely. Please support.
Let's get it trending. Hashtag Blue Chew. Come on. Cowboy Jack needs his
Cowboy hat. There you
code.
go.
Yeah, we definitely need cowboy hats. Actually, speaking of the Cardinals, the late owner August Bush used to have a Cardinals, and it was a cowboy hat. So that should be in the plans right there. That sounds great. Now,
so the hat I was wearing last night, I keep pins on it on the side, and I have a gay pride pin, and then I have your pin right next to it.
Wow, you're always thinking of me.
Yeah, man, I got the logo hung up on the wall here. I've got coasters on the fridge.
Wow,
I'm a huge fan, man.
You're an athletic supporter.
Yeah. You guys are lucky that I didn't come shirtless and paint my body. Which the night is young, boys. The night is young. We can still do it.
I love it. Now, if you would like to be on the Beer Baseball blog,
it's gonna tough back to follow. If you want
that's what I'm saying. Now, you have set the bar high because you are a top tier supporter of us, and that's not the only reason why we invited you on, but we definitely wanted to give back to you. We've sent you some coasters and some other goodies, and we've included you. If you would like to be considered for this, please check out our Patreon. But Jack is setting the bar high. You have to bring this energy, and this is really fantastic.
Now, Cowboy Jack don't mess around. He's here to party.
Well, when you see that, I mean, when you're wrestling with a Ballard, I mean, you have to bring the intensity.
When
was this?
That was 2 years ago.
Okay,
that was 2 years
your last
ago.
match.
That was it. Yeah, it was me and the Ballards against Hollywood Yates, Navajo Warrior, and the Hawaiian Lion, and it was the first and only time that both of my kids were able to see me live. And my son, the hero worship is still there from my son. I mean, he brags to his kids. Look at that little guy. He brags to his friends about, oh no, my dad, he sucks at Fortnite, but he's super cool. He's a wrestler.
So knowing your daughter, was she on her phone the whole time? Not even watching?
On the phone the whole time. Yeah. She didn't care. She didn't care. She's way too cool for Cowboy Jack, but she'll realize one day how cool it is.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I remember when I was wrestling. God, I mean, I literally wrestled in my 40s, which is like insane in itself. But I started late. I started in my late 20s wrestling, and so my son, he kind of knew about it, but then I brought him to a couple shows. So I had to kind of change. My first job was not being a wrestler. So it's like, I was a graphic artist and that's actually my talent and my vocation. And I remember hearing my son saying, somebody asked him like what his dad did for a living. And he goes, I think he's a professional wrestler. And that's when I knew I had to get out of wrestling and stop doing that, because that's the only thing I showed him, like, was all that kind of stuff. So I started showing him more of my art and what I did and stuff like that. And we got into computers and stuff like that. It was a bit of a teachable moment for a young father at that time. Ed also brings up Beer Baseball beefcake calendar. We always talk about the beefcake calendar.
I'll start. Let's take it off. Is that what we're gonna do? I'm in.
I might have to get the mask out for that one.
Yes, and well, we also can give it away at the Richard Simmons Athletic Cup, which will be a
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna go ahead and claim that I'm gonna be Mr. December in the calendar, because this is a Christmas gift to all y'all. All right.
I love it.
You're welcome.
I love it. Many of Kevin's children have seen him wrestle with many child support. Hashtag
what
child
are you talking about? Come on.
Well, do the research. Do the research.
Yep. You're the Sean Kemp of all of us.
You've got enough children that you could start your own baseball team.
There you go. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I got Buttermaker right there. Buttermaker in the making right there. So Jack, you actually said, let me back up a little bit. So we're having Jack on, and Jack is not a hardcore baseball fan like Kevin and I, or anybody that's on the Beer Baseball Blockcast, probably anybody watching as well. Probably no. Did you grow up with baseball? Because we were talking about it. We were watching a little bit of Major League yesterday, and you said you actually really enjoyed a lot of those types of things and like baseball more than you thought.
So Major League, Mr. Baseball, two of my favorite movies of all time. Moneyball, I really enjoyed Moneyball. But growing up, it was all small town Texas and New Mexico, and I have one experience. My dad signed me up for a T-ball league, and I was a little guy. And they said, okay, you hit the ball and you run to first base. There was no practice, no nothing, right? I mean, we had a dirty T-shirt, and I was wearing like hand-me-down sweatpants. Cowboy Jack's not a natural athlete, okay? Contrary to popular belief.
I've seen you on the field, sir.
Yeah, no, I think I had a cigar and a beer, and I was trying to.
You were Babe Ruth.
You also were wearing like flip flops.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know.
What I've seen you on the field, and I don't need to see that again.
Yeah. What are you supposed
to wear? High.
So we're doing this little game, and it's in this little hiccup of a town called Lyon, New Mexico. Not even a stoplight in the town. Okay, So I get up, I swing, I hit. I think it was T-ball because I can't hit. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, right? So I start running towards first base. They picked up the ball and they threw it to the first baseman. And my goal was to get to first base. So instead of going up the baseline, I went around the baseline and I got to first base. Sure. Safe. And then they called me out. And I was pissed. You have to disclose those rules to children. I'm not a smart man, Well, Cowboy Jack Durango needs rules and regulations.
You were young tyke. Did you kick dirt on the umpire? I can only hope.
No, my old man drugged me out and just beat the crap out of me. I embarrassed the family. So, no, I deserved it. I ran around the first baseman.
How would you know? Yeah, because you don't know any better.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
caddy in the house.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean that's the one thing about baseball. I mean, like even when you start, it's assumed that you know all the rules. And I saw the video recently of, I don't know if it was kids or it might have had to be kids, where the kid hit it and ran to third base. So it's like no one tells you. It's like that seems like if you're if you're a right-handed hitter, that seems like the closest base to go to, right? It's right.
Right.
You would be going across. So it's like it's just assumed. Obviously, a teachable moment. You didn't. How long did you play Little League? And
no, that was my absolute last experience with it.
Yeah. So you were one and done.
I was one and done. Well, the beating I got for embarrassing the family pretty much turned me off of baseball. Yeah.
You peaked early.
Yeah, I peaked early.
You really,
Well,
dude, better have a peak than to not ever reach that peak. All right.
Right. No, I peaked early, and it's been just a real fast slide into a valley ever since then.
Well,
baseball movies. I love baseball movies, man. Major League is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah. And we were talking about it because the opening scene where they all go to spring training is actually at High Corbett Field in Tucson, Arizona, right where you're at. And I didn't even realize this either, that a couple years ago I was in Tucson and I went to High Corbett Field because I'd never actually been to that field to see, even though I lived in Phoenix, I never went to Tucson to see a game. Actually, the U of A Wildcats play there now. And so I went there and just walked around. I took some pictures and stuff like that. It's a very historic. The Tucson Toros played there. I think there was a team called the Saguaros that were minor league for the Diamondbacks as well. But they were actually going to have the World Baseball Classic there. But this is then COVID knocked it out.
Yeah, in March.
Yeah, and I think
what is the World Baseball Classic?
So I would say like
4 years.
It's every 4 years, and I think it's been every 4 years. So before about spring training time, instead of some players go to spring training, but these other players represent their countries. So like the United States has a team, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Japan, Antarctica, Switzerland.
The Netherlands Antilles.
Yes. So they all qualify for it, and then they play during this time. So there's a pre-qualifier for it,
right?
And so like these teams, they just have like a little like tournament and stuff like that. It's pretty cool because the rules aren't as are strict, so there's a lot more kind of spirited play during it. It's really cool because you get matchups of like, and it's kind of almost like an Olympic feel a bit, but it's like top tier baseball players are in this. There's a little criticism about it because these players don't get a full spring training. They're already into like hardcore games in the early months, but it's still really cool. And we Kevin and I have gone to it a few times.
I went to a game with you. I went to like one of the semifinals in San Diego, and it was just a unique atmosphere because it's more of a nationalistic thing as opposed to you're just rooting for your team. You know, like even the American fans are all just like, yeah. But then you have the other countries who they're hardcore. Because I remember you said you saw, what was it, Japan at Dodger Stadium?
Yeah, it was like one of the semifinal games. They played the United States. Or did they play the United States? Who did they play? They actually lost. They lost to I think it was Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So now the United States team, is that made up of pro players or collegiate guys?
Yeah.
Pros?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's all pro players. Actually the United States won it the last time it was.
Yep.
It was in the final was in Dodger Stadium, but it's a really super cool thing, and they were going to have the qualifiers down in Tucson, and I was going to go up to Phoenix because they are going to have the Olympic qualifiers for baseball. So that kind of got wiped out last year, which would have been really super cool to see.
Kind of.
Yeah, I was glad that it kind of got knocked out, but only because it would have been everything was going on. But that's a story for another day. But one thing I wanted to say before we kind of get into this is that you come from a kind of not a lot of knowledge. So what I'd like to do today is kind of brush you up on some of the things that you should know about baseball, and it's going to be in a fun way. Obviously, we're going to test your knowledge. But we also we usually start out. I mean, we're 20 minutes in and we're starting out. But I want to know, are you drinking anything today, or did you have a hard night last night?
I want to see what that is.
So I did have a hard night last night. I Father of the Year. I had my kids, so I had to drink a 40 of Mickey's.
That was on our UFC.
Right, on UFC, on the UFC.
That's already on YouTube.
And then I drank a half a bottle of vodka.
Okay.
And then I drank 2 of these Husk Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Scottsdale Blonde.
Right.
And I love the Scottsdale Blonde beer. I love a Scottsdale Blonde because they go down so easy. I mean, really just hits the spot. 4.7 ABV.
That sounds like a good Arizona beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like 110 at like 11 in the morning. That might be good to have, Yeah,
it's a great breakfast beer. No, that's how I start my day. I always start my day with a Scottsdale Blonde on the way to the office.
That's right. Breakfast in the car, right?
And I really love IPAs, but you can't. This is something you can just crush all day.
Yeah,
all day.
Yeah, and Scottsdale, for those who don't know, is a city just north, east of Phoenix, but north of Tempe. So, also known as Scottsdale. Yeah.
See, and I know it as being the home of the Giants, San Francisco Giants. That's been their spring training for as long as I can remember. I don't know if they,
Yep, they're at Scottsdale Stadium. I actually saw the Arizona Fall League Championship there, and then there's a Goldwater Brewing is right there. That's a place.
I wish we would have known that.
Yeah,
so we went to a game in Scottsdale. 3-4 years ago now when we went.
Yeah. Yes.
In your spring training, have you guys made it out to Mesa, Arizona for the Cubbies?
Not for that, but for Fall League. I did a Fall League game. That stadium is really nice.
That facility is beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's super nice.
Is really nice.
So I built 2 buildings there.
Ooh.
No kidding.
Yeah, there are 2 steel buildings there. They're kind of the equipment rooms, and the company that I was working for at the time, we built 2 buildings there. So that was real neat.
Yeah, they used to be at Hohokam Park, which is in Tempe, and now the Cub. This is in the 90s. This is
okay. Yeah. So before we got that new stadium in Mesa, There was another one in Mason. I mean, it was walking distance from where I lived at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then the new stadium opened up, or the new facility, and God, it's beautiful, man.
It's rad.
If anybody's in the Phoenix area, go see the Cubbies there. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
if you can. I mean, you're more likely to see a fall league game there to get in, because I'm sure those Cubs games, once they get back to normal capacity, those games I'm sure are expensive and so.
Oh, it's a sellout. It's a sellout. It's just like when Cowboy Jack's on the show. It's a sellout every time, you know?
See, fall league was great because there's a Whataburger down the street. I got some Whataburger, parked in the parking lot, ate, and then went inside and watched a baseball game at Sloan Field at like 12:30 on a Wednesday and got a beer. And I'm like, oh, this is vacation right here.
Yeah, there's a lot of transplants from like Chicago, back east and stuff like that, Midwest. So they love supporting. Yes, he did. He just did say that.
I said Scottsdale blondes.
What about Snotsdale blonde?
Yeah,
is it the same?
Same thing.
Okay, just figured I'd ask.
All right, Kevin, what do you got? I think you have a baseball beer, no?
So, believe it or not, it does rain in California. I don't know if you know that, Jack. And today is really rainy. I got soaked this morning, so I'm like, you know what? It's stout weather. So I've had this for a while. It's Strike Brewing, Big Wall Imperial Stout, 9%. So I'm gonna probably be passing out after this. And this actually won a gold medal at the 2018 World Beer Cups. I've been anxiously waiting for an excuse to try this. It's by Strike Brewing out of San Jose. So cheers and
cheers. So now when you do a stout, do you ever do it warm?
I never have.
No,
I never have.
I lived in Australia for 2 years.
Okay.
And warm beer is a thing over there.
Yes. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I have one more of these, so maybe I'll experiment with that.
11, 12 years old, and then I had my first beer, of course, because hell yeah. But it was called Victoria.
What's that? The Victoria Bitter? Was it Victoria's Bitter?
Yes.
Very good.
Now that is cheers. That is the greatest beer I've ever had in my life, and I don't know if it was because just where I was at in my life, but yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, and then
that's more or less like the Budweiser. I hate to use the word Budweiser, but it's like the beer in Australia, like the most popular beer. Yeah, and you never hear that in the U.S.
They exported Foster's because it's trash, and they kept Victoria.
They have Paul Hogan on their side. Come on, they have Crocodile Dundee on their side. They're gonna be able to get that out there.
That man's he's a fraud. He's a fake. We hate him.
Wow.
All right, it's a Whataburger Spring Training Baseball and Chica 2022. Yeah, that is the ultimate baseball Arizona trip for sure. Well,
Japan's still ahead of that. Sorry, guys.
No. Chica's Cabaret comes first, boys.
All right, Japan's number one on my list.
My table, if you go in and go to the right, my table's right there.
You're like the norm of Chica's.
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, my beer today is the
hell yeah!
So cheers to Cowboy Jack. Thank you for joining, Kevin. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers for everyone. Watch us get drunk at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever.
Oh yeah, everybody. Getting
started and we're 30 minutes in.
Yes, thank you for joining the Hoppy Hour. Now, Jack, you said that you had a Ty Cobb story before we get into the deck and stuff like that. Yes, you said you had a Ty Cobb story that you wanted to tell. Go for it.
I do. So yeah, I was doing a little research for the show, and Cowboy Jack came across this. In the 1920s, I guess there was a big to-do about home runs. Babe Ruth and people wanted to see the big home runs and the long balls, and Ty Cobb hated home runs for some reason. He preferred what he called slap singles, which I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's where he hits it inside the park and gets to the first base, right? Maybe.
It's more of a technique of how to, instead of taking a full swing, you kind of slap at the ball and then just kind of like almost try to get it past the infielders.
It's almost what's called a chopper, the way the ball bounces. Like it would like chop down and then bounce up high in the air, and they try to,
So it's a type of swing.
Yeah.
Got it. So he was talking to this reporter. He's 38 years old. He prefers bunts and slap singles and hates home runs. And he says, you know what? He's talking to this reporter, probably drunk because he's baseball's greatest monster. He says, I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you something today. I guess he had a doubleheader. He said, I'm going to show you something today. I'm going to go out, and for the first time in my career, I'm going to go for home runs.
Oh, no.
So 38 years old in Sportsman's Park, he went 6 for 6 with 3 home runs and a double. And then the next day, he clubbed 2 more homers.
Wow. That's weird.
I wish I had a date. Wow.
That's all right.
But so his 5 homers in 2 consecutive games was something that had never been done before, not even by the great Bambino.
Wow.
So he did it to prove a point, and then automatically went back to his style of play, bunts and slap singles.
That's awesome.
And that's an interesting thing because the home run was still kind of a new thing around that time period. Because there was actually a guy, Jack, who I'd look him up. His name was John Baker, but he was called Home Run Baker because he was like a power hitter in like the early 1900s. But still, he finished his career with 96 home runs.
96,
and like
how long?
2 seasons in the 1920s. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he was actually called Home Run Baker. He was like the original home run king of the major leagues. And he never even hit more than a dozen in a season. Now that I'm reading up on him further, and it's crazy. It's like this guy played from 1908 to 1922, and he was called Home Run when he never hit more than 12 in a year. So that makes me wonder, like, were there bigger ballparks back then? Like, where were the walls placed? You know, I mean, I have to do more research to try to figure that detail out.
No, and I'd like to find a date on his 5 homers. Now, did he not want to hit homers so that he couldn't slide in and hit people with his cleats?
That could be.
Let's just say that. Sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
That guy's a monster.
Well, I mean, also it's like, you know, that same argument could be made today that a lot of players would rather hit home runs and wind up striking out. And you know, they'd rather hit the home run than actually hit the single, get the averages higher. It's actually, you know, there's a lot of criticism around that, and the strikeout has been considered acceptable if you hit a certain amount of home runs. Really? So there is a kind of a convention about this. So it's like, it was probably seen as that people are trying to hit home runs, like, you know, trying to slam dunk every single time you come down instead of hitting a free throw. You know, a layup or something like that, or work the ball around. So it's like, it seems like that's might've been the convention. You're right. It's almost like, it's a home run is just basically yourself. So it's like, and technically in baseball also, if a guy's on second base, your goal as a batter is to get him to score him. So if you're trying to hit a home run, that's not trying to get him in. It's trying to do something else, you know. So,
all right.
So whenever I play baseball,
I do the research. Hold on, Jack. May 5th, 1925 is when he hit those 3 home runs against the St. Louis Browns. 25. That would sound like later in his career too.
It said he was 38 years old at the time.
So the Tigers had just 50 home runs that season, and the entire American League had just 533, and he hit 3 in that one day.
Yeah. So it was kind of rare to hit. It was kind of rare to hit a home run. So like people that were trying to do it were probably making outs, which is not the kind of the point of baseball. Ed brings up Ichiro as like the slap hitter. Now I always heard about Ichiro, like it was rumored that Ichiro could have hit for power. Like he was that good. It reminds me of that kind of story that you just told. And like he didn't hit many home runs. He actually hit more for average and had, you know, 3,000 hits and you know, so he and actually he played in Japan and had like, you know, crazy stats there too. So Chad M, actually, thank you for joining. Chad Juan Pierre was another one. John says Ty Cobb would probably be the modern day equivalent of Aubrey.
Wait, wouldn't he be more like a John Rocker, or is that?
Probably in some way. In some way,
maybe just in his worldview, right? Maybe just in his racism and homophobia.
I do get that viewpoint because you do want to get on base. You know what I mean? You want to get hits and get on base. If you're swinging for the home run, you're going to be more likely to strike out. Like if you know Reggie Jackson, I believe he still has the all-time record for striking out. You know, but he also was the guy who hit like 570 home runs or something like that in his career.
See, I disagree. When I play, Cowboy Jack goes for home runs for one reason and one reason
You're going
alone.
to get the first base. Come on.
Well, less cardio.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Exactly.
I like a walk-off homer, man. I don't need to be running to bases, sliding and whatnot.
Although, Jack, here's a fun story for you. Babe Ruth actually got caught stealing once in a World Series, and he got tagged out. That cost the Yankees the World Series. He actually lost the World Series trying to steal a base.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, when you're
not
not
year it was, but that's just
why
a
would you do
crazy
it?
stat. You know?
Jabroni.
You don't think Babe Ruth stealing bases, you know? You don't think that at all.
Now,
Like,
now
I
I
was
thought
you try to steal second, Jack.
Now I thought you were gonna say that your reason was because chicks dig the long ball.
Oh, that's true. Yep.
Listen, it's hard enough for me. Women are just throwing themselves at me. You know, I don't need any help in that department, boys. You know, Cowboy Jack does all right. I just don't want to run the bases.
Yeah. So many women throwing themselves at you. You need a bigger glove, right?
That's
So
right.
he's in a secret location right now. Otherwise, you know, you're here pounding on the door in a matter of minutes, I'm sure.
Oh, hopefully not.
All right, so let's
probably one of my ex-wives looking for alimony.
Oh no.
There's only two of them. It's fine.
Yeah. All right.
I've got a court order. Against both of them. It's fine.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what do you got for us?
All right, so let's do a little bit of trivia and see what you know, Jack, and so we'll go through it. This should be a lot of fun. So if you guys want to chime in the comments, also let us know what you know. But these are pretty low hanging fruit when it comes to baseball. Yeah. So Jack, the question to you is: what is the distance in feet from home plate to first base?
Oh, distance
We're
in
talking
feet.
in baseball, not in women's terms. All right.
Right.
I want to make sure you knew that. All right.
I was going to say that's 2 restraining orders, so that's 500 feet.
Okay.
No, gosh, man, if I had to guess, eyeballing it, maybe 40, 45 feet.
Okay. All right. So the great thing is that you said if you had to guess, which means that you don't know. But that's great. This is probably why your cardio isn't that great. It's because it's actually 90 feet. So you only ran halfway. So
I got to take a breather, brother. It's a rest spot.
See, it was probably 45 in his T-ball league. All right, let's be fair.
That's true too. That's true too. But weirdly, you knew what the distance was, but you didn't know what base or you know how to get to the base. And so well, you know that's okay. That's okay. This is just an opening question. So
all right, so I got halfway. Okay,
you did. You get half credit.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 2.
Uh-oh.
What is the exact distance of the pitching mound to home plate?
If we got 90 feet to first base, call that 60 feet.
Ooh!
Wow, Jack.
Well, I will give you. I'll give you 98% on that one.
That's a hell of a guess.
It's a hell of a guess. 60 feet 6 inches.
Ronald's amazing.
Wow! You know what? Gosh dang it! Just like my real life, 6 inches too short, man. 6 inches too short every damn time.
Who is that on his head? What happened?
I had the
yoga.
By the way,
happened? That's a brewer, by the way. That's a drink, Jack. The brewer mound. Drink.
That's a brewer. I had the name, but I don't remember what it is. But Jack, that is not the way that you pitch. That is not the way that you pitch.
Hobo I get help in like 5 seconds. I'm like, it's a short name, 35. I'm like, huh?
Oh, Bubble Pug says.
So there you go. See, I knew it. It's Suitor. Okay, thank you. I knew she was going to help me on that. Right on.
Nicely done. Nicely
God
done.
God bless Bubble Pug.
All
right.
The pinch.
Question number 3. Who is the all-time Major League Baseball home run leader? All-time.
All-time home runs?
Yes.
Willie Mays Hayes? No.
Willie Mays Hayes.
No. Hold on. Gosh dang it. Is it gonna be the Hank Aaron? Rest in peace, by the way.
That's for a while he was.
Cheers to him. Cheers to
Hank Aaron. Rest in peace to Hank Aaron. That is not the right answer, but he was at one time. Rest in power for sure.
Yes, he was.
So the answer is Barry Bonds.
Oh,
762. Now
check out the vascularity on that dude's.
Look at those veins. What's in those veins, Jack?
Yeah.
What do you think in those veins?
Probably a little growth hormone.
Little.
There's a lot of Winnie V in there. A lot of Winstrol. God bless him. Hey, how do you guys feel about steroids in baseball?
Since you asked, how much? This could be a whole show. My short, concise answer is baseball didn't seem to have a problem with it when crowds were up, revenues were up.
That's fair.
They still have not super kept them out of the Hall of Fame. They haven't said like, please don't consider these people for the Hall of Fame. The only people that are keeping
yet, though. Is he eligible?
Is he eligible? I think that he is. But he but the only people that keep him out are the baseball writers. That's the people. Exactly. They basically punish all these players. But baseball hasn't said like, nope. Barry Bonds was actually a hitting coach for the Marlins. Mark McGwire is a hitting coach as well. I saw Barry Bonds at a Giants game. He was being honored. So baseball doesn't say like, oh no, shun these players.
Michael, steroids save baseball.
In some ways, it did. Right,
I hate to say it like that, but steroids
after the strike year, it actually there was actually a home run chase in '98 between Sosa and McGwire. Yeah, and it really revitalized baseball.
Jack goes out. See,
yeah. So
and then I see out it for steroids, and nothing ever got proven. And a guy like that and a guy like Sosa, they put these incredible numbers. And obviously, you have to be a hell of a ball player to do what you do with or without steroids.
Right. No, I mean, it's not like I'm going to go shoot up with some Winstrol and then I can go out and hit home runs.
Right. You still have to do
right? Yeah, you can. You can. you can. You're the exception.
Well, hey, Cowboy Jack can do anything, babe.
But what they're saying is that steroids are like, for instance, fly balls would become home runs. So that is the difference between that. So I say, I used to say this all the time. I kind of backed off a little bit, but I say, let them juice their brains out. Like no one seems to care. Everybody loves the game, and they know the risks going in as well. Yeah. So but obviously there's a responsibility thing. I don't want to sound like a total cretin, but I'm like, if it's, I also make this argument too. They call them performance enhancing drugs, right?
Right.
So for instance, if I were to play baseball, I would probably have to wear glasses. Well, that's performance enhancing. I'm not going in with my eyesight. But,
I wear contacts.
Well, that's just it. And actually, cortisone shots are actually steroids. When they're injured, they actually take cortisone shots. So it's like there's a lot of gray area here. So. Yeah. But obviously, look, actually his head grew, his hat size grew.
I wish you had that. If you look at a couple baseball cards from is that him?
That's him. He played for Arizona State.
I didn't know he played. Wow. Look at him there.
Yeah.
And look at him in that last slide.
That's him in college.
The vascularity, brother.
Ed says that Jeter and Ripken never needed it.
I say, dude, spike up, man. Shoot up. Let's go. Let's make it fun.
Yeah. Bonds is definitely a speedster. You know what, though?
I agree.
Hey, the guys who have the money are probably the ones who are able to pay enough to mask it off, too. I'm sure way more people were doing it than
right. Well, I think everybody was doing it, and then Jose Canseco had to snitch tweet everybody, right?
Yeah. But just in some ways, you almost feel pressure. You have to do it in order to keep up,
Right.
It's like we did a UFC show. There's a whole bunch of UFC guys who are like, I'm staying clean. I know these guys over here, I know they're doing stuff. They just haven't been caught yet.
Yeah.
Because they're able to afford to pay off the mask it or whatever they're going to do,
Yeah. So ultimately, I mean, I would love a clean game where like, it's basically nobody on that. I don't think that in with science and the way, everybody wants that edge to get those stats up. A guy that's taking a lot of heat right now is a guy named Garrett Cole, who I don't think it's so much for steroids or anything like that, but I mean, he's or maybe it is, but he's getting a lot of heat right now. But all these players kind of get these contracts. And it's kind of a race to that contract. Like, how can we be productive and stuff like that? And baseball is all based on stats. That's how they kind of prove it. Even like for marginal players making the team, but also having arbitration. It's like they want this certain amount of money. They actually go to an arbitrator and they kind of determine what their salary should be. So there's a lot that's riding on all this professionally.
Still business, brother.
What's the distance of the fence for a home run when the bay was hitting the now? That's a good question. I mean, all the parks actually have different home run distances. I think the minimum is like 290 that it has to be. But depending on where you hit it, you can, and different parks the configuration can be different. So I think it was like, anywhere from 290 to 450, possibly even 500.
If I remember right, the right field fence at the old Yankee Stadium was pretty short too.
It's like 320.
Yeah, something like that.
310 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, you do. You always have to. Yeah.
See, that's what I was gonna say. No matter how much steroids you're on, in order to just hit a baseball with that accuracy, your eye-hand coordination has to be just incredible.
Yeah.
We're talking like top tier athletes. Look how many guys who don't make it to the minor league get to the minor leagues, let alone the major league level. That's like the top 1% of the 1% of people who play baseball.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good. I mean, this is a great sidebar, but yeah. So let's move on. But a great question. I mean, you can see how spirited. Like people have, everybody has an opinion about this, about kind of where they land on this. So
legalize steroids. All right. Next question.
In Cowboy Jack Durango's world, baseball world, we have.
Let's get Cowboy Jack to be commissioner of MLB. Let's do it.
I think I should just be president of everything, man.
There you go.
Life would be a lot better.
All right, Jack. Who is the all-time leader in base hits in Major League Baseball?
Base hits. Oh man, I'm gonna draw a blank. So I'm gonna just shoot from the hip.
Okay.
Sir Didi Gregorius.
There was a man you mentioned earlier today who for decades was the league leader, was the all-time leader.
Ty Cobb?
Yes. He was first place for decades
until
a guy you would have saw at WrestleMania.
My man.
Yep. He
called Nick King.
Yeah, he surpassed him.
Yeah.
So is he allowed to be in the Hall of Fame yet?
No.
So the two people we just talked about, the league leader in home runs all time, the league leader in hits all time, probably will not get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So that's
he was gambling. He was betting on the Reds, wasn't he?
Yes, as a manager. Yes,
as a manager, and so that's always been his contention that he was betting both for them and against them. So he wasn't just doing one of them. So gambling.
Oh my gosh, he was betting against his own team. I thought it was just him betting on his team when they were going to win.
I take that back.
Like I don't contention if he's betting against his own team while he's managing them.
I take that back. That's probably not. Okay. That's probably not true.
I'm like, he could totally make a really bad starting lineup and then just bet a bunch of money against his team.
Yeah. So he's actually betting for his team. So I guess maybe that's more accurate. But
that's a travesty, man. That's a travesty. But hey, he became a personality. I'm sure he got a good payday out of everything. So who needs a Hall of Fame?
My girlfriend actually went to Las Vegas. He still signs regularly. I have a signed ball from him. But Jack, I think you'll enjoy this. This is some of his. He's also a male model like you. Here he is modeling some underwear. But also, I love the shirt that he's wearing. He's wearing his own shirt and says the Battler.
Now here's a funny one. In all my baseball research leading up to this over the last couple of weeks, I have that picture saved in my phone.
And Joe Morgan in the background there. You see Joe Morgan with his captain shirt?
Joe Morgan. And
look at those shoes.
Who is that guy behind him?
Someone was saying it's Pedro Borbon, but I'm not sure if it is or isn't.
Look at that. Oh my God. He looks so awesome.
So
even though his like pants look like they're up to his chest, like Abdul the Butcher back in the rest of the
Okay.
I dig the trunks though.
It's pretty awesome. It's some great stuff right there. All right, Jack. How many teams are currently in Major League Baseball?
Oh, dang it. We got 50 states. Not every state's going to have a baseball team. We got some in Canada. Let's call it 48.
40. I love your round numbers. There's only 30. And there's it's okay. It's okay. You did good. You did good. There's actually 5 in California. So so it depends, obviously. And actually there's supposed to be a rumor that there's going to be 2, maybe even 4 potentially coming up soon. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're already talking. Exactly.
We can't even host these. We have enough minor league teams at this point.
Exactly. That's very true.
Jerks.
Okay. So of these 30 teams,
they're
divided into 2 separate leagues.
The National League and the American League.
There you go.
There you go.
Look at that.
Boom, shot.
Nailed it.
Cheers, Jack.
That's just because I watch your guys' show. That's it.
Now, do you know the nicknames of these leagues?
Nope. By looking at the pictures, I would say the Eagle League and the poorly designed baseball diamond. Because and by scale, if we're looking at 90 feet from first base to home plate, per scale, that diamond there, that's not right. That ain't right.
Yes, the research pays off. Good job.
Yep.
So, Jack, I have a question for you.
I'm not interested.
Okay, fine. Never mind. I had a great business opportunity for you.
Hit me, babes. Hit me. Come on.
Your team, your local team is the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yes,
what
sir.
league are they in?
I think they're in the National League.
Good job. You got it. All right. I hope that wasn't
not just a pretty face, y'all. Not just a pretty face.
I
got
that.
too.
All right, we're in the home stretch.
All right.
Who is known as Mr. October?
Let's call it. Who do I know? Doc Ellis.
That's a very now. Do you have any assumption of why they would call him Mr. October?
Probably because it was May when he took the LSD, and he thought it was October. Don't mess around with LSD, boys and girls. Stick to the steroids, okay?
All right.
Well, this is the straw that stirs the drink. This is Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the reason why he's known as Mr. October, in the World Series on 3 pitches in 1977, hit 3 home runs. Yeah. And actually, he got the moniker of Mr. October. You may also know him. He was in Naked Gun as well.
Oh, where's my pin?
Yeah.
Where's my Reggie pin?
I love Reggie Jackson because he looks like just a dad on a cul-de-sac, like mowing his lawn. He just looks like a dad.
Yeah.
He just like a normal guy. It's great.
There's Reggie.
Yeah, Kevin has the actual pin of
that. Made a pin of him from the Naked Gun holding the gun there.
Oh, nice, man.
I had to buy that the second it came out.
And I didn't realize this when I saw this picture. Like, look at he's in great shape right there.
He is, yeah.
And he was done at that point. This would have been filmed, I believe, in '87. And it's funny because Angel Game is at Dodger Stadium. Like I remember, I was always angry about that. Yeah, this is December. There you go.
Yes,
you're Mr. Offseason. I want to know, was Reggie on LSD when he hit that home run off Doc Ellis? Ironically enough.
Oh, that's right. So Reggie Jackson actually hit a
home run in the All-Star game at Tiger Stadium
71.
off Doc Ellis.
Really?
And he literally is in Detroit. He literally hit out of the stadium.
Yeah,
That was definitely one of those.
So,
like unheard of.
Did Reggie Jackson ever play for any good teams?
How
Because I see him in
dare
the Angels gear. Like,
You almost made it
I don't know.
real
I'm going to just
You almost
throw them
made
out.
two
Cincinnati Reds, Boston
Excuse
Red
me.
Sox, like
Yeah.
good teams.
Okay, I'll tell you. He actually won 3 world championships with the Oakland Athletics in
Right.
72
Nice.
to 74.
I'll take it.
He was on the Yankees when they won a World Series in 77 and 78. 81, he was on the Yankees when they lost the World Series to the
Right.
Dodgers.
Right.
And then in 1982 and 86, he was on the Angels when they didn't make the World Series, but they made the playoffs.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I just
Now-
know that verbatim.
Well, I'm glad that he played on some good teams, not just the Angels. Ugh.
Reggie is like an all-time
Actually-
favorite in the Lyon household. I
Yeah.
can do that right now. I wish I still had, but my mom, I had a photo of my mom and him together that she was one of his biggest fans.
Awesome.
Do you have like a little shrine, like a Jobu shrine? You pour
I
him a
should
shot of rum?
probably. I wish I
Oh.
would have still that photo of my mom and Reggie together because that unfortunately is lost in the ether. I'd love to have that.
Yeah, Angels are terrible though.
All right. So here's the next question. So we have Mr. October. Who is
Yes.
known as Mr. November?
Ed
Oh,
Brown's going to text him right now.
no side text. Putting the phone down. Mr. November. Man, I don't know jack squat. Sammy Sosa.
Good guess. Good guess. It
Same
was actually
era.
Derek Jeter. And he got this nickname actually against your Arizona Diamondbacks in 2001. Because of 9/11, they actually pushed the season or the actual schedule back. So there was actually a game that they were playing. It actually went to extra innings and actually went from it went into November. And then he hit was a home run, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Now it's the first game ever played in November.
Right.
Ever.
So he became
Really?
known as Mr. November.
Yeah, would that be when Randy Johnson was pitching?
Yep, 2001. Schilling.
I-
When your
Man,
team won the World Series, Jack.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Everybody was pulling
Yeah.
for New York because of all the 9/11 stuff.
Oh, whatever. Why?
That's the only reason. That's the only reason.
Go D-backs.
Wow, Taro. Wow, dude. Hashtag never forget. What are you doing? Did you just
Hey,
you just
I'm not
turned
for the
Ivy
Yankees.
Peak on us,
I'm not
brother?
for the Yankees. It's not gonna make me root for the Yankees. Whatever.
Yeah. Ed's a big Yankee fan, so he of course knows that.
Ed's about to like come over and murder me. He knows where I live for saying that one.
Okay,
I'm not
so
gonna make me root for the Yankees. I'm sorry.
part 3 of this question. Who is known as Mr. April?
That would be Andy Dwyer from Parks and Rec because he married April Ludgate.
Oh, that's a great.
Well done.
Boom.
Bravo. Can I
Walk
take a
off
guess?
home run, boys.
Can I take a guess, Michael? Because I'm just wondering. Because when I think Mr. April, I think of former A's and Dodgers pitcher Dave Stewart.
Oh, that's a very good guess, but this is more like tongue in cheek.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This is more
I'll give you
tongue
a
in
real
cheek.
answer.
It's actually he's not affectionately known, but probably behind his back. It's actually Alex Rodriguez, who was known for because he wasn't a big playoff producer. So that they said, like, you know, the first April being the first month of the season, they said that that's when he performs. Not Mr.
Sorry.
October, not Mr. November, but obviously Mr. April.
I gave you the real answer.
So I've got a surprise. I've got a real quick. I've got a surprise run in. This is my cat, Disco Meow Sheen,
There you go.
that I named after you, Michael.
Thank you.
The Disco Machine.
Super honored. Super honored.
She had to do a run in to see you.
I wrestled all that time to be named by a cat, and I'm very, very happy about that. That's the only reason why I did all those years. Thank you. I super honored. But look now it's hard to believe that anybody would hate Alex Rodriguez after seeing a photo like this that was in detail.
Is he kissing himself?
Maybe.
Well done.
Would you? I'm not even sure if I would allow this photo to be taken, but he said, whatever. And he goes, he doubled down. He said, like, hey, make me
Nice.
make one of these. Make me into this.
He's a baseball centaur wearing a Rolex. Yo, check out that chain too, man. A-Rod is his A-Rod, right?
I can hurt
A-Rod.
Jack's feelings even
He's
more.
gangster.
I'll hurt Jack's feelings even more. If I
I
remember
don't have any
correctly
feelings.
about this guy, I believe A-Rod was with Tori Wilson for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
From the
yeah,
West
yeah. I
End
knew
of the
that.
day. Okay, you're aware of that. All right.
Yeah, she's overrated.
All right.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Speaking of blondes, and also
Well, he
She's
has
no
a blonde.
Purple
Where's your blonde? Where's your blonde?
he was also with Madonna. He's like copying a picture
Yeah.
of Madonna. There's no reason for that, by the way. That's not I don't accept that as a reason.
To be with Madonna? There's no reason to be with Madonna? I agree.
No, Madonna, that's a different story. But I'm saying
No,
he was copying Madonna.
That dude I would not be with at all. Nah.
Well, speaking of blondes, Jack, who is this?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Morgana the kissing bandit?
Yeah.
Oh,
Give it to me,
nailed
baby.
it.
Put it in my veins.
Oh, where's my bad? Looks like she's about to get Fred Lynn.
It is.
Oh,
Fred
yeah.
Lynn.
How did she
I'm not even
run
at that
it
game for all I know. I've never seen Morgana in the game I went to as a kid. I don't know. That might have been the one. Oh, my God.
Man, that queen has so much hairspray in her hair. Look at that hair.
Look at her.
God bless her.
That's it.
Morgana, if you're out there, give me a call, all right?
I think that she's like 80 now. So.
It doesn't matter.
Don't kink shame, bro. Why
Yeah,
you kink
God.
I thought this was the trust tree, the tree of trust. Oh, we could.
I'm looking out for you. Okay. To end this out, who is this?
Man, he's got to have he's like Humpy Knuckles or Whitey Ford or Freight. We're gonna call him Freight Train Johnson.
That's what we're gonna call him from now on.
Jack, as good as that name is, his actual name is even better.
No, Rollie Fingers.
Rollie Fingers.
Rollie Fingers. God bless him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Cheers to that man.
Yeah, he's definitely and a former brewer.
And we got a drink.
Heck yeah.
Shout out to Bubble Pug.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
So Jack, congratulations. You've learned level 1 of beer baseball, and you passed with flying colors. Even the answers that you got wrong, you got right.
Even when I'm wrong, I'm right, baby.
So does Jack know there's 70 more levels we're going to do right now?
Yeah. That's his first level. So you have all day, right?
Series. I'll see y'all next Saturday.
It'll be like Mario World. This is level 1-1.
Right. Yeah. Next Saturday, I'm going to do a Doc Ellis and just be on LSD. So tune in, everybody. It's going to get weird. It's going to get weird.
Well, if you would like to be considered, and you're not going to hit the level that Cowboy Jack hit, you're going to come into the second place. But if you would like to be considered and come on with us and learn more about baseball, go over to our Patreon and check out Beer Baseball. Our highest tiered level will actually get you in consideration for that. We also have an Etsy store, Beer Baseball. Check that as well. We actually have an eBay store. Go figure, right? That's a lot of work. That I'm doing.
Hey, there's some
everybody,
now.
Sign up, man. These guys are putting up so much entertainment and content. Please jump on Patreon. Please support this. In 3 months' time, I want a Beer Baseball blog hat. I want a baseball hat. And I'll make it myself if I have to. But you guys need to merchandise this. Let's take it to the next level. So everybody jump on Patreon, Amazon, click through the links. This show is such a great community. It's such a fun community being in the comments with everybody. Bubble Pug, Mr. Excitement, Toby, and Aria. Everybody, it's such a great community. Let's support it. Let's get to that next level. Let's get some merch going. Let's go, guys. Thank you, Bubble Pug.
Awesome. That's awesome. And you make it fun. This has been a really great. I mean, last year we had to kind of pivot on this. It's actually turned out better than we even expected. Doing stuff like this. We're super happy. We're happy to have you. Kevin, did you want to put out any plugs?
I mean, if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, it's LOKNLOLL. Otherwise, like I say all the time, support your local breweries, support your minor league baseball teams, support your small businesses in general, because we want them to stick around,
Yeah, definitely. Cowboy, where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter at Confirmed Outlaw. in 12 hours. Right now, I'm currently in Twitter jail because I tried to start a fight with Colby Covington, but
so you can see the start of that feud if you watch the UFC Pack Wars, because I told Cowboy Jack all about Colby Covington.
Right. Yeah. No, you got to do some research. Hashtag do the research, boys. Because
Exactly.
I hate Colby Covington now. I want to fight him. I want to fight him one-on-one in the street, in the cage. I don't care. But yeah, Twitter locked me out for 12 hours because I tried to start a fight with him. But no, come follow me on Twitter. Watch me try to pick fights with Proud Boys and white supremacists. And I make funny jokes sometimes. And then I'm a lot of fun. So at Confirmed Outlaw.
Tremendous. Thank you, Jack. Kevin, we will see you on the Beer Baseball Blogcast with Angela Trinidad. That is Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific. Please join us. We have a lot of fun every week. Thank you to everyone in the comments for watching today. I know, we really can't express how appreciative you are that you actually watch any of this. If nobody was in here, we would have a blast, but the fact that we get to do it for an audience is even better. And thank you for watching today. Yeah. See you next Tuesday. See it. See you next Tuesday, Jack, right? All right. Good night, everyone. We'll see you
Love
next
you guys.
time. Take care.
Peace out.